So this is 3 months.
Yes. Okay, so just before we continue meeting the farmer, I wanted you to have a look and see how it works. You will know. So let me explain. This is 3 months. Okay. We have the panel, which is good for many months. Okay, actually many years. Typically 3 years and more. So this is one. Then we have the dispenser with the formula inside and a dripper. Okay. Now the way to make it work, we have a cup on it. We take off the cup and we puncture a small hole here with a needle. Okay. Yes, it is air. And a tricky question for all of you: what happens if I don't puncture?
No flow.
I said it tricky, so think. I said, right? I warned you. So actually, if we don't puncture, what happens is it's the other way. It flows too much, and this is why. At night, it is colder than in the morning. In the morning, when it's hot, this is liquid, right? And some of it even evaporate because it's attracted by smell. So there is a pressure building in. And if you don't release the pressure, it will push out because this is open, just like in the engine. This is how the engine works. Okay, so we have to puncture, and we do it on the side so the rain will not get in. Just for air. You see how small it is. But we have to have it. We don't have that needle, it's not good. Okay, so we have here, it starts dripping. Every day, just a few drops coming out. Now, why is it important? Because this way, every day we have fresh new formula coming out, just like as if we would spray every day. Okay? It's coming to the pocket and from the pocket outside. What is coming out is something that has a good smell, but also it tastes good. So it's coming out, the flies smell it from far away, and this is the smallest number of units actually working anywhere. What we use here, 10, 20 units per hectare. They are attracted, they stand on it, they walk, they lick it, and just a little bit is enough. They fly away, which means that it's not a trap. This is not a trap. They fly away, and then they die a short while after. Now, because it's not a trap, it means that there is no need for maintenance. You don't need to empty the trap. Because it drips just a few drops a day, it works for many, not days, not weeks, but months, for the entire season. So as you can see, there is no need for any maintenance. This will stay here until it will get empty. We don't put it back in the storehouse or something. It will stay here. And actually next season, it will just come, take out the empty dispenser, put a new one, puncture, that's it. The yellow panel will stay on the tree until it's gone. Okay? If nothing happens, that can take more than 3 years, even 5, and we have some farmers working with it for 10 years. This is working in Israel, by the way, for over 15 years for export.
In mango or another commodity?
30 different varieties, including mangoes for export.
So after the flies ingest the product, how long does it take before they die?
As I said, it's a short while. It's short enough that from the time they fed on it, they cannot lay eggs. And this is the most important. Okay? This is why we don't care about the story before. What we care is to get fruit that is free of fruit flies. That's it. All the rest is, if we have here more than one species of fruit fly. Okay, which is tricky, and none of them has a good solution until now. So also for the farmer, he doesn't care if we kill just one species but not the other. So he wants a solution. So we are looking for solution. And the same we do in Israel. Everything is export quality. And we aim for export quality. The same here. Okay?
So then, practically, after they ingest, they cannot lay eggs.
They cannot lay eggs, and you know,
It,
depends.
it interferes with their physiology or what?
Yes, and they will die again. It depends on how much they ate and all this, but no chance of
Laying the eggs.
laying eggs and also to survive.
So the liquid, always you have to put a new dispenser. It's not possible to top up what's in the dispenser.
To what? To top up?
Yeah,
to,
top it up.
To refill it, yeah.
No,
always you have to
no,
put it
because
in,
you're
or the whole of it.
no, because you have. First of all, you see how clean it is. Okay, I mean there is no contact, not with the leaves, with the fruit, and even me when I touch it, nothing. So no, once we've made
Because of the whole.
yeah, okay, and anyhow, we don't want them to do any refill. Okay,
Okay.
we don't want them. We just want them to do it as clean as possible. They just take the dispenser, which is clean, take off the cap, puncture, that's it. As I said, it is possible to give it without the killing chemical, and then they will mix it with it. But that makes it dangerous for them. It's not exact the exact amount that needs, and the chances of going wrong is very big. So this is why anywhere where we get, the authorities ask us to remix it before, to premix it.
It's
before.
premix, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Lots of nutrient problems.
Well, one of the things, until you solve the problem of fruit flies, no one is going to invest in this orchard.
Yeah.
And the first thing when I ask farmers, okay, now you're going to have much more fruit. You're going to have much more income. What you going to do? We're going to invest in the orchard. This is what they say. We're going to make it bigger. We're going to do this and that. But they say we're going to invest. Until now, you know, they do the minimum they have to. And this one is even kept nicely. The yield here is about 2,000 to 4,000 kilos per hectare. Now this is about, for you, I would say this is about 1/10 of the yield that I'm used to, and even less. Okay, 1/10. So yeah, there is a lot to do, but you can only start doing it after you get over fruit flies. And this is why anywhere in the world where you have an issue of fruit flies, you see orchards that has low yield, low treatment, low quality. There is, and Ghana is good, by the way, because in Togo they simply cut off the trees, they burn them off. They get rid of the trees. They don't want it. See?
Okay.
So I think this is a good beginning, and from here, now it's a beginning of an industry, actually. Before that, it was not economic.
Have you had much traction in Ghana thus far?
Yeah.
How many years have you been selling, building the product line?
In Ghana?
Yeah.
3 months.
Oh, it's new days.
No, yeah, but I have much track. You will see.
The
I know.
traction, yes. Oh,
yeah,
no.
the traction.
No, I was thinking that
No, no.
you might have
No.
been here for a few years. Yeah.
No. When I come, I do things very intensively. I know the market now pretty good, as you will find out.
Okay, no.
I
That's
do
great.
my
That's
study.
Great. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. What other, aside from Togo, Ghana, what other areas in West Africa are you looking at?
All. Actually, those fruit flies are all over Africa, nearly, except North Africa. And the rest, but Sub-Sahara, it's all over. But Bacterothera dorsalis, which is today the #1 fruit fly in the world, is also all over Asia, and also part of America. Oh, that's right. Okay, you got you got lucky. You can see the fly. You see how he's eating, how he's feeding. This is a female. Okay, you can see the female. She's walking. That's it. She's gone. Now, how much time? I don't know. You know, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, really doesn't matter. But she will die.
But I thought the product would drip to the red area.
No, okay. The formula is going from the packet and slowly, because there is rain, because there is humidity, there is dough, it's going down, it will get here, and finally going down. But except for the part that the flies are eating and what evaporate. But that is very, very little. And if you think that we have this for the entire season, look around you, the trees, okay? You don't need every tree, just very few units per hectare, then that's it. And the female we saw is gone. I mean, she will
Great
die.
timing.
It's her last supper.
But the time, it can easily be determined in a lab.
Yeah, we know the time, but again, okay, in the field, how much she ate, was the rain just 2 hours ago, or 2 days ago, or 2 weeks ago, which means also how much, really doesn't matter. What matters is what is the infestation. The rest, trust us, we know. And we have many years of work.
The drip, it goes here. I want to be sure.
Yes,
But then it passes through.
No.
Other.
No, actually, this is food ingredient, real food ingredients. So, the little that you see here, okay, it's coming out slowly. Usually while it's rain or humidity of the night, it's coming out. The layer is very, very thin, so you can hardly see it. Sometimes you don't see it, but as you could see, the fly can smell it and feel the good food ingredients. We call it phagostimulants. So it's going here. Now on the sides, we have actually where the fungus feed on the formula, but here is where most of the formula is going, where it is clean. Okay, so this is because it is real food, so we can see it. We don't care. It's okay, no matter how it looks. It's going to work.
Yeah, the smell is.
The smell is exactly, and then they get, and as you can see. And we will not have to, we don't need to trap the female, and we don't need to empty, which is very important. All traps you need to empty.
Yeah.
And that means maintenance. And if you have many flies, you need to often empty the traps. And you need, by the way, also to renew the dispenser every 3-4 weeks, and here one for a season. What are you interested in? Where do you come from? What is your background?
I do agronomy work, but I'm heavily involved in value addition. I develop food products and beverage products. I have for many years. So I've been working throughout Africa. I joined TBI as a technical specialist in agricultural production with a focus on value addition to help the government move toward improving their value addition efforts. And I make recommendations to them in particular areas. And that's what I'm busy with right now. But it's interesting to survey the agricultural developments of what's going on in West Africa, because I've been working in East and Southern and Central for quite a while. So I'm returning to West Africa now since 1994.
Wow.
95, actually.
And where you were born?
New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
The accent is not African.
Well, I speak 4 languages, but yes, but yeah.
And where did you study?
I studied in the States. I studied in the States and South Africa, and in Malaysia as well. Yeah.
Great. So we will talk a lot about value. Okay. What we do here, actually, we see it. We don't see ourselves as a pesticide company. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Not at all.
Okay.
As I said, I started as a farmer, and what I was thinking is about increasing the value of the consumer of the fruit and of me as a farmer. So this is what we still do, and we will talk later about Green Valley Project.
Okay. So you're interested not only in this issue, but you're interested in solving the other issues along the value
Well,
chain.
actually, that is my focus. That took 25 years to develop. That is the way of increasing the value
Okay.
for the farmer and for us, the consumers, who go to the supermarket and want to buy something that is free of insects and free of chemicals.
Wonderful.
Those two things.
Great.
Okay?
Good stuff.
Yeah.
My pleasure. All right.
Okay, let's continue. And hopefully we'll finish.
I'm doing Curtis.
Okay, I'm Eddie, my friend. We meet again.
Yes.
Yes.
With the amen as well.
And
The other time you came here, I wasn't feeling well.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
are you okay now?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Good. So Ahmedi is the manager of this farm, and this farm belongs to Blue Skies
Yeah.
company. So just maybe you say a few words about yourself, about the farm, and tell us a little bit about the background of this orchard when it comes to fruit flies, and about what we did today, the results.
Yeah. The background about this farm.
What?
You said the background.
Yes, the background of the farm. I mean, the history.
In relation to fruit flies or how, when this farm was established and other things.
Whatever you want. I leave it to you.
Keep it brief if you like.
Yeah. This farm was established in 1994. Yeah. Since then, it has been producing best quality fruits.
Bad quality?
Best quality fruits.
Yes. Clarify that.
Yeah.
Best.
Best.
Yes, best.
Best.
Yes.
Okay, best quality fruit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I can share a record of all the mangoes that are sent to Blue Skies.
People don't say
from
we
Ghana
produce
here,
bad quality.
from Ghana here.
Yes.
We have the best quality.
Yes.
Yes.
In terms of
In terms of quality,
quality,
Yes.
eating quality,
eating quality, fruit quality, everything.
fruit fly count quality.
Fruit fly, I haven't come there.
Okay.
I haven't come there. Sometimes we say we are pounding fufu and you are drinking the soup. So it has been we have maintained this quality for a long time until about 6 years ago. Then we at that time there were no fruit flies around. About 6 years ago, these fruit flies started coming here. Yeah, and it has been a very big problem to us. We've been losing a lot of fruits since then. So we came across this fruit fly based traps and other things. We're using them. It was working, but it wasn't. The percentage was not acceptable. Yeah, so Mr. Israeli came here some time ago and introduced another bait to us. So So we decided to try that bait and see whether that one would be better. So we fixed them there. After some time, he came back here. We harvested some fruits, about 50 fruits in all. We peeled all the fruits and we didn't find any problem with even one of them. So we realized that bait can work. Yeah. So after harvesting the fruits, we left some of the fruits there somewhere last week. Last week, they came here. We peeled those fruits and we didn't find any fruit fly activity on them. So it proved that that bait is good and that everybody can count on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, when you do have problem of fruit flies, what do you see under the tree?
Under the tree.
Under the tree, when you have fruit flies.
Oh, no, you see mangoes, falling mangoes.
Okay.
Yeah, the mangoes fall. When the fruit fly enters the fruit and lay the eggs in it, when they form maggots in it, it weakens the fruit and it falls down. You see the fruit, you know their history. Yes. That's like so. All that we do is to collect the fruits and send them to the refuse dump. But this year we didn't see anything like that. Any fault caused by fruit fly, we didn't find even one. Yeah.
It's really good.
What's the size?
It's 100 acres.
100 acres.
Yes.
All planted.
Yes.
And the traps in the name of how many do you have? The one
Oh,
that's
we did. It was just an experiment. It was about 200. 200 pieces. So we fixed it at some place and.
And so on this, you say you have, let me get this right, 200 hectares.
Acres.
Acres?
Yes.
200 acres?
Yes.
How many trees you have and what's the age of them?
We have about 3,800 trees.
Okay, and your replantings?
Replant. So we just filled it. You see, some of the trees were not there. There were some spaces, and we filled it with about 400.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see you get some nursery stuff over there. That's why I asked.
What?
Little small seedlings or.
Oh, these small ones. They were grown ones. We did what we call rejuvenation. They were overgrown, so we thought we had to rejuvenate it. So we cut them down to restart them. That's why you see them like that.
So your productive capacity has improved.
In fact, I don't understand the question well because.
Oh, sorry. As a result of the traps assisting you, your productive capacity for
it will improve because they have not introduced it to us. We didn't have much. We didn't have much fruits in the farm. Yes, we didn't have much fruits on the farm. We had it in a small area. So we did that area to try the
I see. To do the pilot.
Yes. So it was a full farm. This thing, flowering. We didn't get flowers in the whole farm. We just got isolated places. So where the flowers were more, that's where we had the fruits, and that's where we did a trial.
I see. I understand.
So we are yet to use it on the whole farm and see. But I know it will work because it worked here.
Yeah, but actually, this part of the farm you renew it, so there was no fruit here.
No. There were no fruit here.
No fruit.
There were some few fruits.
Exactly. And the rest of the farm, it's about more or less from here down. It was treated by Freedom, and
it worked.
Yes, and it worked. And if it wasn't, then you would be.
We would have been losing more.
Exactly.
We would have been losing
so
more
you do have more capacity today.
Yes.
How much is the yield? Is really it has nothing to do with Freedom. That has to do with other things.
Yeah.
But the fact that you able to keep 100% and not lose 1% because of fruit flies, this is building capacity.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? And maybe you say a few words about what you used to do before for fruit fly control?
Oh yes. Before then, we were using great fruit fly bait. We have a company called ivermectin. Great fruit fly bait.
Yeah, that's the
Ivermectin, yes.
success in it.
Abamectin?
Yeah,
Yes.
it has a protein base
Yes.
plus the
Yes.
ivermectin.
Yes.
So that's why we sprayed it on the tree where there are no fruits, to cover an area of about 1 meter square.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I invented mine. You see, I added something to it. When you are working with that bait, you don't see the flies around. But when you are working with pheromone lure, pheromone lure, you see the flies all over. So I decided to put some pheromone lure in that bait before we sprayed it, and it was working.
But the meter,
Yes,
you added it to the.
I added it to the bait, the fruit fly bait.
Metal eugenol attract only males.
Yes. So just to get the smell in it and attract them, and I attracted them, and it worked.
So how much infestation you had?
Oh, is it, when we use that one, the percentage of fruits we harvested increased. You see, I think we losing about 40%. Yes, we lose about 40% without the bait.
Wow.
But when we use that one, we lost about 15 to 20%. It wasn't all that bad, but that 15 to 20% it's not small food. So we still have to work harder to get something that will eradicate them completely.
All right.
So.
But you're not
we came across this one and it's good.
Okay.
Yes.
Or you also do meal trapping. Yeah, you do meal trapping using the stop mating.
Yeah, yes, we're using it.
As well as the.
We're using we have a trap. We have a type of trap. We use the cap type.
The white one.
The white one.
Okay.
Yeah, we're using that one. Last season, there was no this thing fruit fly bait. That there was none in the country.
Yeah.
It was a problem. So we're using the stop baiting.
Okay.
The stop baiting were catching the flies, but still the flies were destroying the fruits. They destroy a lot of fruits.
Yeah. You see, stop mating. You see, usually the stop mating is for the males.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the bait, that's a challenge.
That is it. So all the farmers didn't have. So we had a very big problem. Yes.
So, is it apart from Blue Sky, you sell your fruits to another company?
No.
Only Blue Sky.
Only Blue Sky. Yes.
So I think after harvest this year, we can compare the fruit fly count at the factory as compared to last year.
Yeah.
That can give an indicator of the performance of this.
That's right.
Of this product.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
do you have plans to expand further with your product, with the product line here to eliminate the fruit fly?
Expand the farm or what?
Excuse me. Do you have plans to expand your particular product line, working with this farm, to eliminate the fruit fly problem?
That's your question.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
It's not limited to this farm. This farm is part of a few farms that is for regulation. And once this is done, we will go forward with our plans. Okay. Now, one thing that is common all over the world, there is a pheromone. You just said the name, methylugenol, which attract the males beautifully.
Yeah.
And keep the infestation high. Okay? So this one, they work with it all over the world with different traps, different sprays, and this is why we have so much work, because it doesn't work. Okay? Infestation generally, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, using methylugenol, 5 units per hectare, 10, 20, 30. Just recently, bait station that I was able to see 400 units per hectare. You get high infestation, as we could hear, 30, 40, 50 and higher. infestation, it can get easily to 80%. And I think later today we will see one. We can hear the farmers around, even this year. And by the way, when you have less fruits, the problem is bigger. Why? Because normally you still have the same number of flies, but now less fruits. For if before, theoretically, let's say you had one fly, one fruit, okay? Then you had to kill them. Now you have 10 flies, one fruit, because you have less fruits. So the chances of getting infestation is just getting higher. So this is one thing. When you have less fruit, more chances of higher rate of infestation. The other thing is this year, as I learned from the farmers I speak with, is rainy, more rainy than usual. And when it's rainy, the population of flies is higher, right? Yes. So this year we also get high population. Not in his farm. He checked his monitoring traps, and I see the methyl traps as monitoring. It's only monitoring. And the only reason in the world that anyone is using it for control is because there is nothing better. Or I can say there is nothing. So when you have nothing, you still have the urge to do something. You do anything, right? Yeah. Anything. Yeah. Just not to sit and like this and do nothing, because that will really kill you. So they are doing anything, and that includes unnecessary, ineffective activities, including the methyl. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very nice. You see the flies coming in, beautiful, and then you go to the fruit, 50% is infested. Okay. And another thing for you, since you work in Africa a lot, Africa, much of it is rainy. A long season is rainy. And Africa is dramatically different than Europe and America and many other places because of the rain. Because of the rain, any solution that has to do with repeated need for sprays is ineffective. Because just yesterday it was raining, today it's raining, the day before, and probably tomorrow.
Climate change issues and things.
Yes. So to spray something that a few hours after, the rain will wash it, and this is in a place where the machinery is not that good, the equipment, I mean, the know-how of how to work with it is not that good. The ability to protect the people's life from those chemicals, if it exists, it's not that good. And many times, those trees are low, probably like 6-7 meters high, and they are low. We have 10-20 meters trees here. We will see some of them later today. So how can you spray it effectively every day? Doesn't make sense. So it means that for Ghana and other countries like Ghana, we simply need a new approach, which doesn't have to do with spraying. And if it does, then we need to minimize it.
Okay, but for the
one good thing about this freedom, actually, as he's talking about, you see, he said it will rain. When we spray and it rains, we have to go and respray. If we have something to do, you have to wait for some time before it go and rain. At that time, the fruits will be, affecting the fruits. So this one, if you fix it, whether it rains or not, it works.
Yeah, but see, for the rain to, some people use containers.
Yeah.
There is gallons. These are gallons.
Yes, so people use they spray inside the gallon. Yes. But
it's a shame. But you see, by the bait itself, from the issues, it's supposed to be towards the end, getting to maybe a month to maturity.
That's not true.
No. You see, I'm coming. Everybody with their experience. Suppose it has worked for some people. They do meal trapping. and from the beginning, there may be a month prior to first harvest, estimated first harvest.
Yeah.
Then they move in with a bit, just to make sure to keep the population slow. Some people have used that. It has worked for them.
But we are taught that we have to wait until that time, and we realize that most of the fruits were being destroyed by the
So it's not earlier.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
So-
this red bait can be there for about 3 months or more, so it can cross the season. You see, it can cross the season, so it will be there till the end of the season. So why wait till 1 month before putting it there?
So it depends. Some it depends on your soil. So some do 2 months, some do 6 weeks, some do 4 weeks before estimated first harvest for the bait. While they do the male trapping, then when they say the population are going high, then they move in with the bait.
So if there's a bait that takes care of both the male and female, and you fix it early, and it traps them, it kills them or traps them, and they don't come at all. Why should you sit down and wait? Why should you start trapping males? Then later bring
you are looking also at cost of managing the pest.
If it is this freedom we are going to bring 1 month to the time, the cost will be the same. Okay, we are talking about other. Now we are talking about freedom.
I'm not talking about freedom. I'm talking about
okay.
other size apart or beautiful fly bait. That's what people say. Use 4, 6, or 8 weeks prior to first harvest when they see that the catches are going high. But this one, you hang it from the. I understand it says it can work for about 5 months.
Yes.
So we start hanging it from the. Looking at your time that it takes the food to start coming,
yes.
Then hang it in your orchard. Fine. But this one, the target is the females.
Or even
this one.
When the fruits reach pigeon egg size,
then you hang it in the
you can hang it.
But this one, the target is the females. This one, this freedom one.
Both male and female.
Christopher, look, anyone who is happy with what he's got, great, continue, no problem.
Yeah.
This is for the ones who are not happy. Okay, so there is no problem.
No, me in my work, I'm just giving people options.
Yes.
Because everybody with their
so we are
resources.
Yes.
So we are giving you options. This is how this one works. That's how this is the cost involved. This is how this one works. This is the cost involved. Then you as a farmer, you decide the quality that you want to keep.
Yeah.
By the way, how much it costs today? The entire package of sprays, traps, sanitation, including the labor that comes with it and the machinery. How much it costs today per hectare?
That you have to work it.
Well,
You have to calculate it. Yeah.
I know the number because I did. I calculated it with the farmers.
Okay.
We can get out the rain, guys.
Yeah, we can get in here. So
cost is a very big issue.
Exactly. So this will be very interesting for you, and I'm sure also for you. The cost today, the bottom cost, okay, is about $600 if you take this package. And he was going through the orchard every week. Sanitation, right? A group that is going back and forth all the time. This year, did they work? No, this year, they didn't. Okay, spraying after every rain, such as this one. And traps to replace them every 3 weeks. So you take a bunch of cheap solutions, you put them together, and you come up with about $600. Yesterday we had a farmer who said $900, and in many places, other places, if you take in consideration solutions such as SIT, sterile insect technique, that would be a few $1,000s per hectare, few $1,000s. And if you consider like in Southeast Asia they wrap every fruit with a bag, okay? That will come between $2,000 to $4,000 per hectare. So after here they invest, let's say $600, $900, they still lose, let's say 50%, which is the number we got from the Fruit Fly Committee, 50%. So he's losing another 50%. Let's say that he has a nice yield, and this yield totally worth $2,000. So he end up losing $1,000 of fruit, good fruit, because of fruit flies, and investing in fruit fly control another $900. Okay? So he end up with just a few $100, maybe $200, $300, $400, $500 per hectare if he's lucky. If he's lucky. This is the situation today. Okay? And if he's going to invest in put bags on it, $2,000, he doesn't have this money, right? Simply doesn't have it. The cost of the control is more of the cost of the income.
Labor costs are extensive.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a heavy one.
Yeah. So actually, the aim is to see not only how we can cut off, like we did, the infestation of fruit flies, but also how we can have higher yield and higher income per kilo. And that means taking each kilo and making more of it. Okay? Great. Any more questions to Mr. Amedi or to me?
No, you've been here a very long time managing this orchard, eh?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Do you have many people working with you?
Yeah, we are all 15 in number.
Just 15?
Yes.
Huh. Such a small number. What about during harvest season?
Obviously, we take cashier workers to come and help us.
Okay, sure. How many?
Whenever we have any work here that would be too much for us.
Yeah.
We employ cashiers to come and work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. No, I was just curious about productive issues around that. The fruit fly is a very specific, harmful issue to your productive capacity.
Yeah.
And if you can get that taken care of, you've done a world of good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a great trial relationship, and I hope to see it go further. That
Yeah.
you'll be able
Yeah, we will.
to make it happen. I'm in Ghana, so I'm looking forward to coming back and
Okay.
seeing the results after a season or two.
Yeah, you're always welcome here.
My pleasure.
Actually, fruit flies are not specific, especially the ones they have here. They attack at least tens of different crops, including vegetables. And all in all, fruit flies attack hundreds of different crops. So it's much more than just mango.
Agreed.
It's
Yeah.
generalists, many of them, especially
oranges. Yeah, red oranges are like.
citrus,
citrus.
tomatoes, and many others.
Yeah.
Many other cash crops and others. Yes. Okay, Mr. Amedi, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yes. And hit me up. Also. Very good.
Oh, one last question. What's the average age of your trees, would you say?
We planted this 94, 95, about 24, thereabouts. We planted 1994.
Interesting.
94, 95.
Okay.
Yeah.
25.
25.
About
yeah.
25.
Yeah, 25.
Okay. All right. All right. Great. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Pleasure meeting you. Good luck.
Another big man. You're welcome. Yeah. Should I give you a seat? No. Go ahead. Go my shaka wa. I just don't touch your book. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, we can just stand on one of the trees.
Look at the come
Your varieties. We have Kent
I have Kent, I have Kit,
and
I have some few others, like
Nice fruit.
Amelie, we have spring fruit, but all those ones are very early variety. So we harvested, but we still have Kent. We still have Kent.
Sorry.
Maybe we come here. It's convenient.
Move back on your number.
Oh, I was like, I don't know.
So we've just
Yes, so I see you twice a
did
week.
our supply, yeah,
Right, recently.
we did our first supply.
You did?
Yes, to Briska yesterday.
Yeah, good. How was it?
We had it was not bad, except that because of the excessive rain, and it doesn't have to do with fruit fly, but we had so many other problems. Some of them got rotten. If you go around the trees now, you would think that we have brought the mangoes that we are now going to select. A lot of them, but not necessarily fruit fly. So we had a truck which was able to make 17.2 tons.
How many tons?
17.
17 tons.
Yeah.
what's that? What is here? What's that?
He started to
That
market
was our
his
first
fruit.
supply. Yes. That
So
was our first
17 ton is what he supplied until now.
In the record.
Yeah.
And
This is from yesterday, right?
yes, yesterday. And this the analysis. It's not talking about fruit fly. It's talking about
So
stone weevil.
no remarks about fruit flies.
No. Stone weevil.
Very good. Yeah, stone weevil. That's good.
Up for stone weevil, whatever you do.
When you see the number one pest of the list, it's good. Yes, you simply don't see it.
But
There is no better
to
news.
them, they are saying that reject expected.
Okay,
Yeah. So
okay.
because as soon as you send the fruit, they don't process instantly.
Of course.
They put in the chiller and they ripen it. It takes some time before they process them. So by that time, some of them will have gone back. So that's why they are saying. So they will take their rejects during the time they are processing.
Okay.
And then they will weigh it and then knock it against the gross. Yeah.
So maybe you give some details for the gentlemen about fruit fly issue in your farm. What did you do in the past? The results in the past? What you do this year? The results this year? And maybe also about, come closer here, and maybe also about your neighbors. What is going on with your neighbors now?
Yeah. Okay. In the past, we've been doing a lot. We've been doing a lot of control on our farm with regard to fruit fly. Now, some of the controls are that the first and foremost one is the farm sanitation. We make sure that we pick all the falling fruits around so that they don't attract the fruit flies. Now, secondly, we set traps to give us an idea of their population on the farm. Now, when we find that the traps are catching, the catches are becoming alarming, then we come in with the control. Now, what we've been using for the control is the success apart. what we call protein bait. Yeah. It's very effective though, but the problem with the protein bait is that if you do the spot spray, we don't spray the whole tree. We do spot spray so that they are attracted to the spot and then they die. But then, what the challenge we have with that is that if it rains, if you spray today and it rains, everything washes away. You have to repeat the process again. You have to do the spray again. So it become very difficult, and especially when the rains. You have the rain today, tomorrow it rains, tomorrow next. It becomes very difficult to, and that is the time that they also come in the more. They do a lot of destruction. When it comes to losses, some time ago I was telling them that as if you go to a conference and you agree that take 50% of the mango and I will take the rest, the other 50. It's so bad. We had a situation where half of what we produced was lost to fruit fly.
Did you get it? He had a conference with the flies, and he said to the flies, "You take half, I take half."
Allow me something.
Yes.
So it was that bad. And then
just out of curiosity, was it in a portion in a particular area, all over?
All over the farm.
Okay.
All over the farm. And the problem, the other challenge is also that I'm surrounded by other farms. If I go to my boundary with you now, you will find that even some of my branches are touching the other farms. And while I'm doing all I can to control, it looks like they are not doing anything. Now, you are here, so I want you to see things for yourself physically. And that is affecting me so much. So sometimes I go extra mile to put about 2 lanes of their farm. I put my traps there, or I do the control there, so that I don't have so much problem. So that is the situation. But with the coming in of freedom, the story is different, very, very different. Now, we did I think about a month ago, we did the trials. We picked about 50 fruits from the Kent variety, which was almost ready at that time, which was also matured at that time. And we did some cutting. We found some few cases of fruit fly. But then you could see that it was not necessarily fruit fly, but maybe something, there's a problem with the fruit. Maybe the end is rotting, or then the fruit fly then set in, they go in to affect that particular fruit. Then the interesting one was just, I think it was it Monday? I think Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, Monday. Monday we picked another set of that's also 50. No, 60 this time. At random from various portions of the farm. And then we did a cutting. And we realized those that we suspected we having fruit fly, they never had. There were no fruit flies in them. Out of the 60, we had one fruit that was infested by fruit fly. But even in that case, we realized that the seed was rotting. So that may be the cause for the fruit fly to get it. So the mango itself was going bad. So the fruit fly then set in. So that is the story here. And with the freedom, what we realize is that even after rains, you don't have to go back and do anything again. They are still working. So is it? How do you call it? Is it trap?
No, it's a freedom. It's not a trap. It's not spray.
It's
a freedom.
No, but the way you package it.
The yellow panel?
Yeah, the panel. The panel is like, I think it's waterproof. So water doesn't get it. So it's working even after rains. So that's the amazing thing about the freedom. Yeah. So that's the difference between what we were doing in the past and what is happening now. And because we wanted to see the difference very well, so we were not doing any other control apart from the panels that we put there. So we didn't do any spraying, we didn't do anything.
Okay. Well, thank you very
And
much.
then let me also say one. We did some trials with the trap. Now, I think it was over a period of 12 hours.
That was for monitoring.
For monitoring.
Just
it
put
was
monitoring
that
traps.
was monitoring.
Yes.
We put one here, and we put one in I think about 30 kilometers.
No.
30 meters.
Yeah,
30 meters
yeah, 30 meters from
the
this
edge of
orchard.
my farm.
We put
The
the
other farm, which I think they are not doing so much control. Now, after the 12 hours, we had 37. Yeah, 37. Over the 1,600.
A what?
12 hours. 1,600.
1,600 at the neighbor. Okay, 30 meters away from this orchard, and here about 37. So just think of the pressure of the population coming from the neighbor who is doing nothing. And we will go there and you will see the fruit lying on the ground, infested.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right.
So, okay, this is how big is the farm here? How many acres?
30.
30. And how many of the freedom have you placed here? The freedom system.
The very day I was in this, I don't know the number, but I think they know. Do you know what the number you put in?
Does it matter?
Yeah, it's important.
Why?
It's important.
Okay.
Because you have to have an idea of the other side of the farm, how many of the systems, and
I can.
Okay, so-
What is more important, and I can share it with you because I have all those numbers.
Okay, that's fine.
Is the number of units per hectare?
Yeah, but
Okay.
That's required.
we covered the whole farm.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Okay.
it.
This is what we actually used here, and then you simply calculate and you get more or less the number. What?
What I'm, correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm gathering is that your system, because we don't want to call it a trap, but it's kind of a vector system in a way that it clearly stops them from, it kills them from breeding, stops them from the female
From living.
Yes, but from laying the eggs too. It kills them from laying the eggs, stops them from that process, sterilizes them. In fact.
No, it simply kill them.
Simply kill
there
them.
is, yeah.
Oh, finished. Okay.
No one can lay eggs after.
Well, yeah,
It's
this
egg.
is true. But it's interesting to determine the square meter that when you lay in the tree, how does it just affect that tree? Or, it's very difficult to determine because the flies could move around a bit of what exactly you're killing or how many you're killing. If you know that this one particular area is infested within a 20 square meter radius, then okay, fine, you put quite a few there. But this is a funny part that is a question that's hard to determine. I don't know if you've had success in other places, but it's a very difficult question to answer of how to address it.
Well, first of all, this is not a lab. No farm is a lab. And what we see here, and this is why we repeat it, we have here 10 units per hectare, 20 units per hectare. Okay, now 10 is 30 meters between each unit. 20 units per hectare is about 22 meters between each unit. So you start getting and then the question is, okay, what is your target? If your target is export, you need probably more, simply because you don't want to take risk.
I see.
Okay? If you are here in the center of the orchard, or if you are the line on the border of the orchard, right next to the farmer, who has 1,600 flies a day, okay? Then maybe you want more. So that change, and this is really something flexible for the farmer to decide based on the target market and based on the population. Okay? So if he's going to sell to the next village, it's one thing. Okay? If he has higher infestation, not a big deal. If he's going to sell it to Blue Farm, Blue Skies, or to export, it's a completely different thing.
Story.
Maybe in that case, he wouldn't like even to go and pick the fruit from the boundary. Okay? Just to be on the safe side.
Absolutely.
So this is why we keep it flexible. I think it should be flexible. That's the way it is. And the farmer, each one should, according to his experience, and now Mr. Rockley already got experience, and say, okay, now what I'm going to do next year. This is one. Second, what we see is that because we reduce the population, and right now, if you go under the trees, you don't find infested fruits. That means that next year, is going to have less fruit flies. Probably less problems. So with the same number of units, he will get better results, or he can use less. And of course, if the neighbors will also use freedom and effective control, everybody will benefit. Okay, and so the cost per hectare will decrease because the number of units will decrease. And one of the reasons that, for example, his neighbor doesn't take care of the orchard is because he doesn't live here and he's not willing to go and spray after every rain. So he just let it go. Now, if you have a solution that you just go 3-4 months before the season, you put it once and not so many units, and that's it. You go back to Accra or I don't know where, and you come back, then even if it's not perfect, it's going to be 100 times better. So it's a game changer. Okay?
So I was saying that I'm not saying that it's 100%. I'm not saying that we are at 100%. Yeah.
Of course.
Yes. Because such a big farm like this, you go around and you find a few cases of fruit fly. But what we have realized is that it doesn't necessarily mean the fruit, the fact that you have maybe 1 or 2 cases of fruit fly is because maybe the fruit itself has a problem. And even if not fruit fly at all, it will still go bad. So once it starts going bad, the fruit fly will now get it. So that's
the only fruit that we found was cracked.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. So I mean, a cracked fruit is mature earlier and really is like a magnet. But most, even here, and we will go to other places, most of the cracked fruits, most of the early mature fruits, because of the seed, is the stone in the middle is something not good with it. Still, we check the fruit and the fruit is 100% good when it comes to fruit flies. So when you see such fruits with no infestation, that's good. Okay?
Okay, great. What? So this recent development here, you said you just did 1710. Is it?
Yeah,
First harvest here, into the process here.
Okay. What do you think your capacity is? What can you?
No, it will vary from season to season. This particular season, we didn't. Last year by this time, we had serious problem with the factory, so we didn't do any induction this time around. So the fruit came voluntarily, so we didn't have too much. Yeah. But I mean, this 17 that we have, we are expecting to have another 70 or 20 this week. But then if we reduce and we have heavy, we go beyond 100. We're going beyond 100 tons. Yeah.
How big is the farm?
12.5 hectares.
12.5 hectares, 100 ton is what you expect.
That's in a very good.
In a very, very good season.
Yes.
Things go well. When was the last time this happened?
Oh, it's not this year.
No,
It's
no,
not
no,
now.
this year. Last year, minor season, that is last year, January.
Last year, July.
January.
You did.
December, January, we did 100.
Huh? Okay. You work
And
with.
even that, it was not the whole, we didn't have the full complement of the farm. About 20 acres.
Do you work with the processor?
Yes,
So do you know what the reject rate was?
yes.
Could you say?
Let me see whether I have a look.
Just on average.
On the average,
Yeah, just on average.
it's about between 500 to 600 kilos. This one we supply. We are expecting between 500 to 600 kilos we get.
Out of the 70
Yes.
tons.
And so that there are so many reasons why we have reject. It could be post-harvest handling,
Yes.
with the truck from here to the PMB, a lot of shake-up. And then even while we are loading, we use grease to, some of them, some of the grease we sit on others,
Yes, that's right.
and then also when you get to the factory and they are offloading, and then you see a lot of them dropping. So I mean, those ones to also go bad. And then there are some, as for fruit, you cannot be 100% sure unless you cut it before. There are some we cut, maybe you saw the report, some stone removal issues and all that. So those are some of the reasons.
Okay. Interesting. How, just on a, well, with regard to fruit fly, and given the age of your trees, what you looking at it, you also have some other issues with regard to your trees. How are you dealing with that?
Yeah, the
Fungus
most
issues and disease
serious one now is the BBS, the bacterial black spot. It's about the most serious one we are having in this. I don't know about other places, but in this enclave, it's the most serious one is the BBS. For now, we haven't put our finger on any chemical that is
a solution for this.
Yes.
You haven't come up with.
We've been advised
Okay.
to do copper. Yeah, so we tried all the copper fungicides in the system. None of them is working. Yeah, quite recently we had when we went to do our price negotiation at Blue Sky, one he's from Switzerland, but he's their marketing manager. And he told us that in South Africa, what they did was they did what do you call it? Wind brakes. They use wind brakes to check the spread.
Wind brake?
The spread,
Maybe
wind brakes. Wind brakes. So they are advising us to do a lot of things. So we've just started something. We are hoping that we've been very busy this week because of the harvest. So we are hoping that by next week we will have put a lot of wind brakes around. So that maybe in 1 year time, they will be checking the spread for us here. But we are also Blue Sky is trying very hard to bring some chemical that they think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And for these other ones like millibarbs and that one, fortunately, we've been able to overcome. About half of my farm got infested with millibarbs. So this, you knew about it. You know about it, and it was not easy. But by God's grace, we've been able to overcome.
Mealybug very often is a problem of that follow the destruction of biological balance, because they do have good natural enemies. Okay, so I hope that now that you spray much less, you will restore the biological balance and you will have much less problem with that. So let me know next time we meet how it's going.
Yeah. So then the other ones is the usual. For that, I don't really see it as so much. They use the stone weevil and all that. But then that one is just a question of when if you do your stone weevil control very early enough, I mean at the right time, then you will not have so much of it.
Okay.
You know the stone weevil sets in when the fruits are like this. So if you don't do the control at the right time, then the setting there's nothing you can.
Mr. Oakley, from all the sprays that you do in the orchard, what is the percentage of the sprays that you used to do for fruit flies? Like how many, all of them together, all the sprays that you used to do together last year?
Excuse me, that in the mango season, sometimes there can be fruit flies around, but they don't destroy so much because of the sun. Because it's very, very hot. And so they usually want to operate in a humid condition. So, I mean, during that time, we don't spend so much on control. But in the weather like this, yesterday it rained a little, not so much here. But, so assuming we controlled yesterday, and it rained yesterday, it means today we should have been
spray again.
And then we cannot, between now and evening, we don't know whether the rains will come again or not. So depending on the frequency of the rains. So it becomes very,
So
very
just,
difficult.
take a number. Take a number. It's okay, you're not going to the court on it.
Yeah.
But just roughly, all year around, all the sprays for everything that you were spraying, like was it 30, 40, 50, how many?
We start with the monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
Then as soon as we see that the population is becoming big, then we do the spot spray. So sometimes as early as March or so, we start the process. So let's say even if it is on weekly basis, and this farm, if you are doing the spray, at least about 3 liters of
The chemical.
the chemical,
Yes.
the cells apart. Before you finish one round, about 3 liters.
Spot spray.
But how many times do you repeat all the sprays, not only fruit flies, everything? All the sprays that you do, how many times each part of the orchard is getting sprayed?
You are limiting ourselves to fruit flies.
No, everything.
For everything.
Everything.
We do fungicide every 2 weeks. Every 14 days we do fungicide. Then insecticide we do it when we do scouting and we find that there's some problem somewhere that we have to use. But then, like I just said, for stone weevil control, we do it immediately after the fruit set. And that one we do it about 3 times. So every fortnight for 3 times. That is for the stone weevil. Then after stone weevil, if we don't have any insect problem, we don't spray insecticide. So it is fungicide, half for fungicide.
So fungicide is like 20 times a year?
A year.
A year?
Yes.
Like 20 times a year. And then you have the stone weevil 3 times?
Stone weevil 3 times.
Okay. And then fruit flies?
Or
anything else?
Fruit flies is as often as we have the rains.
Yes, but again, there is some average.
Yes.
Okay, so you have the fungicide, stone weevil, and fruit flies, right? The 3 things.
Yes, 3 things.
So how many times will you spray a year for fruit flies, average?
For fruit flies, that one also, we also do it fortnightly. So let's say
You do it what?
fortnightly,
Every 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks. Unless there's very serious, then we'll go in for a
So again, every 2 weeks is
So
the standard.
let's say that is also about, if you're talking about the years, about 20 times.
So 20. So you have 20 times is fruit flies, 3 times is the stone weevil, and 20 times is the fungicides. If we put aside the fungicides, that are actually insecticides, if you take the 20 times off the list, you're left with 3 instead of 23, right?
I haven't talked about, that one is not important, the induction, what we do.
Yeah, that is, we can leave it. Yeah, it's not, I'm talking about fungicides, insecticide, mostly insecticides.
In the fruit
So that actually reduce nearly by 90% the number of sprays. And stone weevil is not before the harvest. Before the harvest, the only thing they have is fruit flies. So if you're talking about chemical residues, you're talking about fruit flies.
At this stage, we are not spraying anything. Even with insecticide, we are not supposed to spray 6 weeks
prior to
Prior to
prior to
first
harvest
harvesting.
because of chemical
Residue.
residue.
What specific fungicide are you using? Just out of curiosity.
Fungicide.
What
We,
what
we,
product?
we use success apart.
No.
No,
this
you
is
mean it's just that
Fungicide.
fungicides.
fungicide. Oh, okay. We use bendazine. We alternate bendazine, top coke, and we use abound. You've heard of abound.
No, I don't know that one.
We have one here. If you like, I can let you have the
Yeah, we
container.
can see the okay, fine. Then we can know the active ingredient.
Hey, go away. Go away.
We have high yield, not
Then
like
the-
this one.
Then
If you
have
look,
what
if you
we
look
call
at this
zumbi.
tree for just 1 second, if you look at this tree, for example, if you want to spray any spray, even spot spray, almost impossible to spray without touching the fruit, some of the fruits. Okay, even if they try, just the leaves, impossible.
Then we use what we call zombie.
A zombie.
Zombie.
I've heard of that.
And there's also, in the absence of zombie, we have what we call 5-star.
Also, this strawberry. Okay.
5-star.
Yeah,
5-star is just another name for, I think it's a brand name. The ingredients, the active ingredients are the same as zombie.
Okay.
And then there's one on the market now we call
These are allowed.
Plus
In,
Super.
these are allowed in Ghana. They're allowed to.
Yeah, all these ones are. We haven't.
Meaning
that's
a
why
certification
we
body.
haven't found. There's one on the market now. We have not used it yet, but I think so. We want to be too sure whether, very sure whether it's in the chemical list before, because this is a Global Gap certified farm. So anything we use, we should make sure that
Okay.
it is there in the approved list.
I'm with you. Okay.
If you exhausted your questions.
Yeah. You know, I like to be able to unpack each one of them a bit better for you.
You want to see something practical now. You want to see something practical.
Well,
And I just want to show you something. I mean, just make a difference between a farm that is controlling fruit fly seriously and one that is not doing anything at all.
Well, take us there.
okay, let's do it.
So let's go.
Yeah. So I think that beyond what we see, there is nothing much I should add.
That's fine. His units are not on the tree, is it?
They are. It's only so few that you can hardly find them.
Oh, I see.
But they are.
Okay.
Yeah. This is one of the nice things. I think all the farmers talk about how great it is labor. We in the West, we tend to think of Africa and Asia as continents that labor is cheap and easy, and you have people just waiting, right? Just waiting to go spray, to go put the unit on the tree, but it's not. The fact is that there is no available labor. They struggle to get it, and the first thing that they say, even before how happy they are that they have so much less infestation, is that, whoa, that labor, we got rid of it. After every rain, to go and spray, to recharge the traps every 3-4 weeks, to go and collect the fruits, the sanitation, that is a lot of labor. Only one who was a farmer can truly understand the meaning of it. For someone from the I don't know, from the market or from the university. It's just, okay, go collect the fruit. But someone who really needs to go and do it, it becomes impossible. And that is the reason why 40% of the farmer of Ghana simply abandoned their orchards. They gave up. Not the money, it's all the labor that has to do with it. So I believe that now it's going to change, because it's so easy, and I'm sure it will be affordable, that it's just there is no reason to think twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Now, I think that what we will talk about, I don't know if today or some other day, is how we take one fruit of here and make it worth at least twice of what the farmer is getting here. How we do it.
Yes.
Okay? It's possible. Maybe we can have coffee together sometimes and talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? Even today or I don't know, tomorrow.
You're here for the show and you're...
Until the end of the summit.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we sponsored the summit, and I'm going to be moderating one of the panels and such.
Which one? The first or the second?
I'm going to be working on the finance one, in particular.
Okay.
TBI.
So that is the second one.
Yes.
Later in the. I'm going to be in the first.
Okay. But I'll move around a bit, but we'll have time.
No, but I want not in the conference. Actually, it's nicer to sit on a cup of coffee, quiet,
Yes.
not with a million people around, not when you're under pressure. Everybody's asking and talking. No. Let's do it.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Yes. So Joseph will help to coordinate that.
Right.
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 Great.
Yeah, I'll tell you what we do, what we're here to do.
Yes. We don't see a difference, which is great. Yeah.